Hi guys, welcome back to another quick update on the Red Sea Reefer 425 Deluxe. I thought I'd best do a quick update just because we've started to move ahead quite fast with the custom work now. Now obviously we want to do the build series for this tank moving forward, so I thought I'd best get a quick one in, just to explain what we've done so far, because the next few days we're going to be doing even more work, and by the end of the week we might even have water in the tanks. So let's quickly move ahead and show you what we've done so far. Now, I'm not sure if you've seen the last video, but this is the Red Sea Reefer 425 Deluxe, and it's got the brand new V3 sump in it. Now, by the V3 sump, basically, obviously you can't see it now, but there was 4 filter sock holders, basically where the Clarisea is. Now, with the tank, you get 2 of the brand new filter cups, and you also get 2 225 micron filter socks. Completely glass partitioned. Now, to get the Clarisea in, I've had to cut those glass partitions out, and I've also had to cut the filter sock holders out. I'll be honest, that was actually quite hard work. You have to use a really sharp blade to do it. I was using a razor blade, constantly going over the silicone trying to cut it out, but they do such a good job of sealing the tanks and sealing those parts in. It was an absolute mission, because obviously at the same time you've also got to be careful that you don't scratch the glass as you're doing it. So it must have took me the best part of 2 to 3 hours to get that done. I gave up on the razor blade in the end, and I got a scalpel, so I used a scalpel with a handle, because I was just cutting my fingers to pieces. About part way through I was thinking, Christ, what have I done? This is actually a bit of a mission, and I was really worried I was going to scratch the tank. But I persevered and got them all out, got it all cleaned up, got all the excess silicone cleaned off. I have still, you can just about see there, that stain there is a silicone stain that I need to get off. I'm just going to use some white vinegar to get that off and give that a good scrub. But it actually, in the end, it went very well. So we've got the Clarisea in. The only issue with the Clarisea is you have to hard plumb that in yourself. Now, that means buying your own plumbing, because obviously Clarisea aren't going to provide that. And the idea is they basically put a 32mm elbow on the back of the Clarisea, which screws in to this chamber here where the water actually comes out of and fills the main chamber up. This is the Clarisea SK 3000 automatic, and that was £249. They also do a manual version for £149. To be honest with you, I don't really see the point in the manual version, just because if you're going to do that, you may as well have the filter socks if you're going to manually roll it on yourself. At least with the automatic version, it literally flows through the bottom and fills this chamber up, and obviously the water goes out through the sides. But as the filter media gets clogged, the chamber gets full, eventually hits that blue float switch in the middle, which then rolls the roll on, and obviously it just keeps repeating until that 25 meter roll of media is out, and then you just change the roll. So yeah, I've completely done away with filter socks. Apparently it's amazing. I've done loads of research on it. I haven't heard any bad words about it, to be honest. Obviously for the price it was still 249 quid, so I thought, you know, I'll think about it. But I went over to a friend's house in Peterborough to pick up some anemones that had split, and he'd actually fitted one, and the water was so crystal clear. I thought, you know what, brand new tank, I've got room to have it, I'm going to try it, it's worth trying. So I did. Now obviously on the back of the Clarisea is a 32mm elbow. The main pipework for Red Sea is 32mm. But in all honesty, on the Red Sea Reefer 170 that I've got, the actual valve for Red Sea always used to do my head in. I'd get it absolutely perfect, dialed in, and then within a couple of hours it was out again. And in the end, I just left it slowly trickling down the emergency overflow. And I just got used to that slow trickling noise. But for this one, obviously with me plumbing in the Clarisea, I thought I may as well take that opportunity and plumb in my own gate valve, as you can see, which is there. Now the way I did that, obviously you need 32mm plumbing, but what I decided to do, rather than ordering the parts off Red Sea to connect to the tank, I used the main, there we go, if I can show you, I used their plumbing, but I cut off their main part that connects to the tank, so I've not had to order that. I then dropped in a union after that. I don't know if you can see it, but that is a union there. And the idea of that is you basically hard plumb and fix that into each side, and then you can unscrew the middle to take the part off. So I thought, well, that'll be great, because I can just take that off. If ever it gets clogged or I need to clean it, I can take that off. That then comes down to a 90-degree elbow, which is there. Then there's 32mm pipe, 32mm gate valve, which I've custom sprayed green. More 32mm pipe. Sorry, I'm not very good at these videos. Then another union. The reason I've put the union in there is so that I can also take off the plumbing going down towards the Clarisea, if that was to ever get clogged. Now, I've been advised not to actually glue that plumbing together. With it being the main downflow valve, I can actually get away with it because there's not that much pressure on it. So I've glued all of the main plumbing above the gate valve. I've glued the gate valve in. I've glued that pipe and I've glued that union in, but below that I've not glued. I'm tempted to glue this one because that's never going to change, and this elbow, but below that I'm not going to glue it. I'm just going to let the force of it, because to be fair, it's pretty stiff anyway. I'm going to leave that as it is and see how we get on. And the main reason I'm going to do that is because if I find that the rolls on the Clarisea are running out too fast, I can raise it up one notch, and that should make the rolls last a little bit longer. But obviously by doing that, I'm going to have to cut that pipe there. Just cut a little bit of that pipe off. So that is the plan. That's actually gone really, really well. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. I think it took me a couple of hours tops to get the Clarisea all put together and to also get the plumbing done. The one thing I will say about the instructions on the Clarisea, it's not that easy on the instructions to put it together. Well, I didn't find it that easy anyway, but thankfully D&D actually do a video of how to put it together on YouTube and on their website, so I'll try and put a link to that video below this video, just in case it helps anybody out. But yeah, that's the plan. That's what I'm aiming to do, and obviously if I can get it wet this week, we'll start to see the Clarisea in action. What I'm tempted to do to start with is, I don't know if you can see, but that little notch there, you can move that to the right or the left, and that will start to let water out. Now, as obviously you've got sand and everything blowing around, that's obviously going to clog that filter media up quite fast. So I might open that up slightly just to let a bit of it through. I'm not too sure. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's actually gone really well, to be fair. Obviously, I'm customizing up the sump as well. So we're going with the neon green toxic sump. Obviously the gate valve's the green. I've also got the manifold all in green that's going to hopefully go across the back, which is going to use those reactors there. They're the Aquamedic phosphate reactors. In one of them, I'm thinking about just putting some of the Seachem Biomatrix media. In the other, I'm thinking about tumbling Rowaphos, but we'll see how we get on. And yeah, that's the plan. Obviously in the back, we've got the Bubble Magus Curve 7 skimmer. I've had the Bubble Magus Curve 5 on the 170s, you've probably seen from the previous videos. And that has worked like an absolute dream, so I didn't see any reason not to stick with Bubble Magus, and I went for the bigger skimmer. To be honest, that is an absolute beast. I didn't realise it was going to be as big as what it actually is. I just thought it'd be a slightly bigger body and a bigger motor, but it's actually huge compared to the Curve 5. And it pretty much fills that back chamber within the sump. Just in between here, by the way, it's a really nice touch from Red Sea actually. There's a glass glass baffle that you can put in. You can either have it in the first one or the second one. Obviously I can't have it in the first one because I've cut the filter socks out, but you can have it in the second one. And in the back of that as well, there's also, I don't know if you can see, but there's an adjustable baffle as well, so you can adjust the skimmer height chamber to match your skimmer, which is perfect. Really, really nice touch. In the front, where those cables currently are for the Clarisea, that's going to be a refugium. So I'm running a big refugium in the front with a Kessel H80 light. Then that will go through to the bubble maggers curve 7, along with a return pump that will manage the manifold with the 2 reactors. And I'm also thinking about putting a UV in the back, D&D UV sterilizer, just because I'm planning on having some tangs and things like that in this tank. So obviously the last thing I want is white spot and stuff like that. I've not had any of it, touch wood, in this 170, so I want to try and keep it that way. And if I can prevent it with a £100 UV sterilizer, then I will. The plan with that, I spoke to a few people, the plan with that is just to run it when I add new fish, and to run it if I ever see any signs of disease. If anybody's got any tips on that or anything, just let me know in the comments below. That would be great. I'd really appreciate that. I've never had a UV sterilizer, so it'd be nice to hear what other opinions people have got. But hopefully in the next video I'll be able to show you the fact that I've got all the wires hidden in the back. I've made a custom trunking section to match the back. I've bought a green LED strip light to go around the top and around the back to light it up, again to add to the toxic green sump. I'm hoping to have started the inside cabinet unit. I'm actually making a unit to go inside the cabinet, just so I've not got to screw into the main cabinet itself. I don't really like the idea of screwing into that. I'm going to have to in the sump for that, where I've got clips and things like that to go in, but for this one I'm going to make a custom unit and just try and do something a little bit different. I've seen online a few guys that have done these really modern custom sumps, so I'm looking at it thinking, you know what, this is a long-term tank now. I'm probably going to be looking at 4 or 5 years on this tank. I might as well try and do something amazing, and let's see how we get on. And so hopefully in the next video I'll be able to show you the custom work we're doing on that unit. Hopefully I'll have the UV plumbed in and the manifold plumbed in, and with a bit of luck, you never know, I might even have water in the tank, because at the minute, as you can see, it's just still full of kit. It's in there for safety, away from my little girl. So yeah, so I'll keep you updated. I'll try and do the next video within the next week or two of the extra work that we're doing. But thanks for watching. If you want to see the rest of the build, subscribe or make some comments below on what are the bits and bobs that you want to see, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. Cheers. Bye.